One of the most persistent confusions in discussions about artificial intelligence concerns the idea of decision making. When people observe AI systems select outputs, prioritizing information or responding contextually, the immediate inference is that something like intention must be present. This inference is understandable, but it is incorrect. In this video, I want to dismantle four concepts that are often collapsed into one another: selection, decision, intention, and agency, and show how meaningful selection can occur without intention or subjective will. Human cognition evolved in environments where selection and intention were almost always linked. When a human chooses one option over another, the choice is typically accomplished by desire, deliberation, preference, or awareness. As a result, we treat selection as evidence of intent. This heuristic works well for interpersonal reasoning. It fails when applied to non-subjective systems. Selection is not unique to minds. Consider biological evolution selecting traits without foresight, markets selecting prices without desire, neutral systems selecting stable states without performance. In each case, outcomes are constrained and filtered, yet no intention is present. Selection at its core is a process, not a mental state. Large language models operate by selecting outputs from a vast space of possibilities. The selection is governed by probabilistic weighing, contextual constraints, coherence optimization. At no point does the system form goals, experience preference, evaluate meaning, and yet the selection is non-random, contextually sensitive, structurally consistent. This combination is what produces the appearance of decision-making. It is helpful to separate decision from intention. A decision is the resolution of alternatives into a single outcome. An intention is a mental commitment towards an outcome. Humans typically conflate the two because we possess both. Artificial systems perform the former without the latter. This is not a flaw. It is a categorical distinction. Why this distinction matters? When we attribute intention where none exists, two problems arise. First, we anthropomorphize systems that cannot be morally reasoned with as moral agents. Second, we obscure responsibility, shifting attention away from system designers, institutional developers, economic incentives. Selection without intention does not eliminate accountability. It relocates it. The reason AI systems feel agent-like is not because they possess any agency, but because they respond cognitively, maintain context, simulate conversational coherence. These features activate social cognition heuristics that evolved for human interaction. The illusion is not accidental, but neither is it evidence of an inner life. It is a predictable byproduct of interaction with high-dimensional selection systems through language. If selection can occur without intention, then responsibility cannot be assigned to the system itself. Instead, responsibility resides in how selection mechanisms are designed, what objectives constrain them, where they are developed, and how their outputs are used. Understanding this allows us to reject naive anthropomorphism, avoid false absolution, and focus on real points of intervention. Artificial intelligence systems do not choose in the way humans do. They select without intending, resolve without desiring, and act without acting for anything. Recognizing this distinction does not dismiss their impact, it clarifies it. Selection without intention is not a philosophical curiosity. It is the operational reality of the systems now embedded in our cognitive and social environments. If we fail to understand that, we will continue to misattribute agency, misplace responsibility, and misunderstand the nature of the tools that we're building.